Alright, what I want you to do, first of all, is to go ahead and copy all this information down. 10-2, circles and circumference. Go ahead and hit pause, and then we will come back and discuss all the little details. Alright, now that you are back and you have all of this recorded, we're going to start up here. Circumference is the distance around a circle. That is all the way around the circle. It is the same thing as finding perimeter of a polygon, for example, or a square, rectangle, quadrilateral. You're simply finding the distance around that particular shape. The two main things that we're going to be dealing with is diameter, which is the distance across a circle through its center. So it goes from one side of the circle to the other side, and it must pass through the center. The other detail is the radius. Radius is the distance from the center of the circle to any point on a circle. So again, starting from the center, going to the outside edge, in fact, it's an infinite amount of radius that go around that circle. The other detail that you need to know as well, and it's not on here, but you can write in your notes, is that it takes how many radius to make one diameter? It takes two of them. You have one here and the second one here, starting from that center point. It is made up of two. And we're going to be discussing that further when we get into our formula. And the other one that's not as important, but it is important to know, that is a chord, is any segment with both endpoints on the circle. So you can see the endpoint here, but it does not necessarily pass through the center. Okay? Next page is discovering pi and its relationship to the circumference of a circle. We're going to do an activity here tomorrow, so we'll discuss this further, but it is understanding the relationship of pi, which has a value of 3.14. It has a relationship with the diameter and the perimeter, so we'll discuss that further tomorrow. Here is our formula, and that is pi times the diameter, or 2 times the pi times diameter, or excuse me, radius. Said that wrong. 2 times pi times the radius. Both of these are equivalent to each other. If you recall what I said earlier, that there are 2 radius in 1 diameter. Okay, 2 radius in 1 diameter. That is why we are multiplying by 2, because the diameter and pi have a very important relationship. So make certain that you use either one of these particular formulas, depending on whether they give you the diameter or if they give you the radius. So to solve this problem, you simply take pi, and since they gave you the diameter, it's going to be times the diameter. Well, pi equals 3.14, and you're going to multiply that times whatever the diameter is. In this case, it is 9 centimeters. And then you simply multiply. So we get 36. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 3 is our 12. 9 times 3 is 27, plus 1 is 28. And remember, we have two digits to the right of the decimal, therefore you got to have that in your answer. Now, make certain that you label this. You must have units of measurement to be correct, and it is centimeters, and it is not finding the area, and it is not finding the volume, so it is simply a distance around a circle, therefore it is just centimeters. Next problem. We're going to use those same formulas. I'm going to let you get started on this. I'll give you the formula, which is 2 pi r, which is 2 times pi times the radius. And the reason we are using this formula and not pi times diameter is because they gave us only the diameter, the radius. Okay, we have to have whatever is given is the formula we use. So since they gave us only the radius, we'll use the radius formula. And if they gave us diameter, we'd use it with the diameter formula. Go ahead and hit pause, and you will be able to then solve this problem and be back in a few seconds. So go ahead and pause it, and I'll see you in a few. All right, hopefully you have completed this, and it would be 2 times 3.14 times the radius. So we can simply take 3.14. Remember, using our associative property, we can multiply these in any order that we like. Usually taking 3.14 times one of these numbers is the easiest. I've had students say, well, isn't 2 times 3.14, I'm just doubling that. Couldn't I simply multiply 6.28 times the radius? Yes, you absolutely can. So any way that you feel most comfortable with is perfectly fine with me. So we take the radius, which is 6. We simply multiply this together, get 24. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 more is 8. 6 times 3 is 18. 2 decimals to the right there because of the 0.14. So we end up with 18.84. Now, we must not forget that we did not multiply by 2 in this particular problem, so we now multiply by 2, and I get 8. 16, carry the 1. 16 plus 1 is 17. 2 times 1 plus the 3 is 3768. Again, we're looking at this problem right here. There's only 2 digits to the right of the decimal, therefore it goes between the 7 and the 6, and we are talking about feet. Okay. Now, if we would have taken the 6.28 and simply multiplied it by 6, we would end up getting the exact same problem or answer. And with 12, there's 16. 36 plus 1, 37. So you see, it does not matter which way you do it. If you did not get that correct, please put a star by it, and that's a question you'll want to ask tomorrow. Now, sometimes they'll just simply give you what the radius is or what the diameter is. If that's the case, r equals 12 millimeters. Obviously, r standing for radius. You're going to simply plug it into that formula, 2 pi r, and solve it. So go ahead and solve this, hit pause, and come back. All right, you would have taken 2 times, and if this is a little different manner, maybe you have the 12 in for this, and you say, well, I'm going to say 2 times what the radius is, which is 22 times 12. Gives you your 24. Then you can simply take 3.14 times 24, and we get 16, 5, and 12. Add a 0 for place value, and you get 8, 2, 6. Add these together, and I get 6. I get 13, carry the 1, 5, 7, and my decimal point, because I have 2 digits to the right of the decimal, 2 to the right in my answer, and again, we are dealing with millimeters. Again, if you have questions, please star this, and we can discuss tomorrow. And that is it for today. Again, tomorrow you'll come in and be able to work on this assignment and ask any further questions. Have a good night.